Right. How are we? Oh, why is my thing not showing? There we go. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back. Haven't done one of these in a while. Well, actually, I say that. Haven't done one of these since the last Europa League game, which was just a week ago. Obviously, that game against Karabag. We are back to preview another Europa League game. Happy Ange Ball Day, says RN. Ludwig, welcome, overseas bad actor. Big up. How you doing? How you doing, mate? Proby, how you doing, mate? Hope you're good. Smashing it on the old weight loss journey, mate. Absolutely smashing it. Hope you're good. How is everyone? Obviously, we're going to be previewing the game against Ferencváros this evening, kicking off at 5:45 UK time, obviously over in Budapest. Not out there for that one, unfortunately. But I hope anyone that is out there is obviously having a safe trip and hopefully coming back with 3 points. Can't hear me, apparently. I could hear myself in the stream earlier when I checked. Increase the mic volume. Okay, yeah, no problem. Should be better now. So obviously Ferencváros away. I'm going to be talking through my team selection for that one. We're also going to be reacting to the England squad, which has just dropped, actually. And there is one big Spurs inclusion and one big Spurs omission, which we'll talk about. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, obviously, as well. Make sure to go and follow the TikTok page as well. That's in the description. And my Tottenham TikTok page closing in on 10k followers over there. A little cheeky follow for the Instagram as well would be lovely. And yeah, we'll crack straight on with it. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. I was going to say, I think it sounds fine. Okay, cool. Right, let's go. So that is the team that I would personally pick tonight. Kookaburra says, is this a team you would pick or the team you think Ange will go with? I think the team that Ange will go with might be this. Werner in for Mikey Moore, and then Mikey Moore comes off the bench. And then potentially a change at the back. Let's talk through this first. So this was the travelling squad that travelled out there. Vicario, Forster, Austin, Porro, Gray, Van der Ven, Dorrington, obviously Demola Ajayi, Christian Romero and Rodrigo Bentancur also there as well, so we can include them. Mickey Van der Ven, Alfred Dorrington, Ben Davis, Sergio Reguilon, who is an interesting one that we will talk about, Dante Casanova, Yves Bissouma, Lucas Bergval, Dan Kulusevski, James Maddison, Timo Werner, Mikey Moore, Brennan Johnson, Dom Solanke, and Will Lancashire. So, Sergio Reguilon is an interesting one. Let's just quickly talk about that first. So, Reguilon was pictured, obviously, on the plane yesterday. Ange Postecoglou has said that he travelled with the team despite his omission from the Europa League squad in order to help keep the levels in training up with a few first-team players currently sidelined through injury. So he's basically saying that he's kind of there to make up the numbers. However, there is a rule in the Europa League squad, or a rule basically means that you can, if someone gets injured, you can replace someone on the squad A list. So people were saying I wonder whether that's what we've done with Sergio Reguilon, with Wilson Odobert, the fact that he's out for 6 weeks. And you can do that, but I'd be amazed if that's what Spurs did, and I think Ange just kind of confirmed that. And also, if Spurs were to do that, surely Jed Spence would be the smarter pick, right? Richarlison is another one to quickly talk about. I am baffled by the Richarlison situation at the moment. I don't really know what's going on, and the fact that he's back training on the grass at Hotspur Way is great, but kind of confusing information. So that's the squad that travelled, obviously, plus these players here, Romero, Ajayi, and Rodrigo Bentancur. I think Christian Romero starts tonight because you've obviously got no Radu Dragusin. Will he start Mickey Van der Ven and Romero? Obviously, with that big game against Brighton on Sunday, a real chance to kind of make it 5 out of 5 wins tonight and then potentially 6 out of 6 on Sunday. We shall see. I don't think he'll play Romero and Van der Ven, but he's very limited for options at left back. So it's going to be interesting to see what Spurs do. I would quite like to see Archie Gray at centre back. I know we all want to see Gray push up into midfield. Obviously played at right back in the first game. But I think with the balance of the team and also resting certain players like Van der Ven, obviously came off with 10 minutes to go on Sunday against Manchester United. I don't think it was injury related. But I think just to protect him, obviously with a lot of games coming up, I would quite like to see him rested, if I'm being honest. So I think Archie Gray, we saw him in pre-season. To me, Gray kind of played that Romero role, I think, as that aggressor sort of stepping out from the back, breaking the lines with the passing. So we know that he can definitely do that, for sure. You know, with those sort of little passes in here in between players or out wide, taking players out of the game. We definitely know Gray can do that, can step up 100%. So I'd be interested to see Romero and Gray together. So I wouldn't mind going with that. I think it'll definitely be Vicario in goal. I don't really see the need to rotate there, if I'm being honest. I think Yves Bissouma comes back into midfield. I think it'll be exactly the same midfield that we saw in the first 5 minutes against Karabag before Radu Dragusin was sent off. Lucas Bergvall, I think, will definitely start tonight. Yves Bissouma, I think, will start tonight. I think Pat Matasar will start tonight. I've seen James Maddison doing a lot of the pre-game chat. So maybe he goes with Maddison and Bergvall, potentially. Obviously, Maddison's in great form at the moment. I think he might. There's a chance that he could potentially go with James Maddison. I don't think he'll play Maddison and Kulusevski. I think Bergvall will definitely play, like I said. And I know, obviously, in an ideal world, you want to be resting Big Dom for these games. But I think with him and with Brennan Johnson, the fact that Dominic Solanke is 3-3 and Brennan Johnson is 4-4 now, I think it's a great opportunity for both of those players to keep up that kind of momentum, really, in front of goal. So, obviously, you've got Will Lancashire on the bench as well that you could chuck in to the starting 11. I think there is a chance, potentially, that Mikey Moore does start tonight. I would quite like him to. I would pick him personally over Werner. And look, I talked about Werner in my match breakdown that I did after the game on Sunday. Thank you very much for watching that. I massively appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a brilliant performance and a brilliant away day as well. We tore United apart. Absolutely tore them apart. I spoke about Timo Werner in that video, and I actually thought he was okay. In the game. Obviously, those two misses where you go through on goal like that are inexcusable at this level. We know that. But we know that's kind of what he is. But it's a great opportunity to give Mikey Moore a chance. However, it won't be an easy game tonight. Ferencváros aren't going to be pushovers. They are top of the table in Hungary. 6 wins out of 6. 3-0 win at the weekend. Danger man, potentially Saldana, scored a hat-trick. So maybe he goes with that slight bit more experience. And also the fact that I'd imagine Sonny will be back after the international break. I'd imagine Sonny will be back after the international break. So, obviously, we're going to have Timo Werner probably against Brighton. So, is it another good opportunity to play Timo Werner into a bit of form for when we play Brighton? Obviously, Brighton play with that high line. We're going to be doing a preview video for Brighton on Saturday before the game on Sunday. So, I'll talk about that a little bit more then. Gamecock there has just said more for Johnson and put Werner on the right, potentially, or more on the right and Werner on the left. RN says, personally, I would let Brennan Johnson sit this one out. The one match we tried to rest him, Odeberg got injured when he ended up playing the whole match. Worried his hamstrings are going to be in the red zone. Good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Obviously, Brennan didn't play the 90 minutes on Sunday, so he should be a bit more fresh. Ethan Riley said Maddison basically said that he's starting. Okay, that's the thing. I saw Maddison doing a lot of pre-game chat with Spurs. Obviously, Spurs TV doing some of the interviews and stuff, so I kind of got the impression that he might be. In that case, do you go Bergvall and Maddison potentially? Because I'd imagine Bergvall will start. So maybe you do go with Maddison in there. And Maddison and Bissouma and Bergvall. Potentially something like that. What do we think about Solanke? Do we think Solanke definitely plays? Obviously, we're very limited for options up front at the moment. And I think it's a good opportunity for him just to keep up that rhythm. And he's obviously a very important player for us already. I thought he was excellent on Sunday. It's not... Ruben Rodriguez talking about the Odeberg injury said it's not a long enough injury to allow a sub on the squad list. Fake news. Okay, fair enough. Would love Mikey Moore to get a chance against a weaker opponent in the group. This is the thing. Ferencváros, on paper, are one of the weaker opponents in the group, but they've got a very good home record, especially in Europe as well. It's not going to be easy. So, I know, again, Alfie Dorrington was a player that was pictured travelling with the squad. Do you bring Dorrington in there? Or is that too much of a risk? Do you do something like this and play Davis at centre-back alongside Romero and then play Archie Gray at left-back. I think it's good enough for the ball. He can invert in there and play Pedro Porro down the right. Because then what you can do quite nicely with this is sort of tuck it into a back three and let Porro go and join and sort of invert in the midfield to kind of create this box and almost play a bit of a 3-4-3. Quite like the idea of that potentially. Will123 says, would love to see a Lancashire cameo in the last 10-20 minutes. Mate, we're all praying for that, my friend. We're all praying for that. But potentially that is something that we could see. I do quite like the idea of that. I think Davis at left back anyway. And again, our fullbacks aren't inverting as much this season. We know that. I think Maddison could potentially play tonight. So we'll see what happens when 4:45 strokes round. Early kickoff tonight, 5:45. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, by the way, guys, if you are new around here. Over 100 people watching in the stream. We are very, very close, as you can see there. 5.98k subs to 6,000. Brilliant growth on the channel over the last month or so since the season has started. Obviously, you can tell by the numbers that you guys are enjoying the video, so I massively, massively appreciate that. So thanks for getting involved. I want you guys to let me know what you think. Yan Yanis says Dorrington, Davis, Gray, Porro would be too much. I think so. I think you probably need a Romero in there potentially. Uden Violence says Richarlison should have started this game instead of Big Dom. I agree, but obviously he's not around at the moment. You need Richarlison to be available as that backup option, and he's just not, unfortunately, right now. What do you guys think then? I know you got. If I put in the chat, who do you want to see? Would you like to see more? Would you like to see more or Werner? I know it's going to be 100% more. I know you guys are all going to say that, and I want to see Mikey Moore as well. But I also think there is logic in starting Timo Werner. I do think there is logic in that, and I think there is logic in starting Solanke, and I think there's logic in starting Johnson. It's a hard one, isn't it? Because it's like when you look at the format, obviously with the 8 games that you play, if you win your home games, you'd probably be okay. But we've got tough home games with Roma and obviously Alkmaar. Bought my ticket for Alkmaar yesterday. So do you play a bit of a weakened side and maybe come away happy with a draw here away from home, potentially? I think, on reflection, I think this is probably what I would quite like to see. I think there's logic in playing Werner into a little bit more confidence. Because someone made a great point. Werner was part of the reason we won 3-0, but he was also the reason that we didn't win 5 or 6-0 on Sunday. So do you carry on with him, try and play him into a bit of form? Or do you just go balls to the wall and just give Mikey Moore that first start that he obviously deserves? You know what? No, we'll go with that. I think that is my team that I want to see tonight. I'd be quite intrigued to see Gray at centre-back, calm on the ball alongside Romero. Porro in there, obviously didn't play in the first game. Doggy's not travelled. Davis in the midfield. Basuma, Bergvall and Maddison, Solanke, Moore and Johnson. That is the team that I would like to see tonight. You guys let me know if you could make a couple of changes to that. Werner couldn't do it against Coventry. He was very poor against Coventry, but he was better against United. Like I said, he was definitely better. Nick says, is the concern with Moore perhaps his defensive game not got much to go off, but in the limited time he's come on, it seems that he doesn't seem to get quite stuck in. I mean, he's 17 years old. He's a winger, you know what I mean, that kind of plays out there. He's a pretty kind of player. He's not the type that's going to get 100% stuck in all the time. For all his faults, Werner puts a shift in defensively. That is also true. And look, in an ideal world, you probably start like this, and then you go 2 up, and then you bring Mikey Moore on. But I think it feels a bit banana skinny tonight for Tottenham. I don't know why. Just it's got that feel about it. Like I said, they're in form, Ferencváros, not to be taken for mugs. But you know what? This is the team that I would like to see. I would like to see Mikey start. Let's talk about the England squad. Connor says Sunday was my first away game. Some game for the first time. Mate, it was quality, wasn't it? One of the best away ends I've been in a long time. Long time. The Belgian Hotspur says, Ben, with a weaker backline, don't you think we need Sarr for a bit of defensive solidity? Potentially. Those legs, yeah, potentially Sarr comes in. But I think Bergvall would definitely start. And I think there's a chance Maddison starts as well. But it could also very much be this. And then, like you said, Sarr does come in for that bit more defensive solidity. Potentially. So we'll see what happens. I think a toss of a coin for me at the moment. Let's talk about the England squad. Because it's some great news, but also some disappointing news. Dom Solanke, unsurprisingly, after his great start at Spurs, is back in the England squad. First time, I think maybe the first time in 3 years, potentially. I saw that earlier, maybe. Let me just double check that. I'm sure I saw something here. Dominic Solanke's England recall. Here we go. Only previous England cap was 2017 Brazil friendly, but 27-year-old strikers impressive Tottenham form rewarded. Rodgers, Maddison, Bowen, Maguire amongst those not in the squad. So the first time since 2017. Wow. Look at Big Dom there. Go on, son. And there he is, the boy, absolutely shining for Spurs at the moment. Been super, super, super impressed with him. But we'll look at the full squad because there is no James Maddison. And James Maddison 100% deserves to be in there based on his own form. And I think he'll be gutted to not be included. But also, the benefit for Spurs, you hope, is that you kind of hope that it kind of continues to inspire him into this sort of run of form that he's on at the moment, because he has been excellent, and I think he's using that rejection to kind of as that or in the summer, as that extra bit of motivation. But if you Lee Carsley, I mean, you look at the the quality of players that he's got there. Bellingham and Foden back in the squad, which they weren't in the last international break because of injury and illness, I think. Morgan Gibbs-White. Look, I'd have Maddison in there over Gibbs-White 100%, but from Carsley's point of view, obviously, other than kind of the elite of the elite players that were in the squad, like your Bellinghams, your Kanes, obviously, your Trent, Alexander-Arnolds, Kyle Walker, John Stones, he's going to go with youth, isn't he? He's kind of going to go with youth because he trusts it, he's worked with them, and I can respect that. Obviously, that front line, Gordon, Grealish, Harry Kane, Noni Madueke, Saka, Dominic Solanke, the boy, and Ollie Watkins. Feels like Solanke is that third striker for England now, which is really good for him. But then, I mean, Palmer, Rice. I think Maddison is just so unlucky about the fact that there is so much competition for place in his system. The Duty's made a good point. There's no Eze in the squad either. So there is a lot of competition for places in that creative attacking midfield role. I said it in a TikTok video the other day about Maddison, that where he's been playing a little bit deeper, I think where was it? It was, I think it was this one here. I spoke about the fact that when you look at England's setup in the last couple of games, obviously Mainu and then Gomez playing as that deeper midfielder in the two games. I think Maddison, with the way that he's been playing this season, if you sort of look at, if we go and look at his heat map for the season, he's been playing that bit deeper. We know the role that he's been asked to do by Ange Postecoglou. Not quite as that out-and-out number 10. I think he would thrive there next to Rice. I really, really do. No Morgan Rodgers. Morgan Rodgers' time will come. He's an elite talent for sure. But yeah, disappointing for Madders, but great for Solanke. 100% deserved. I think Solanke's been excellent for Spurs so far this season. Been super impressed with him, and he is back in the England squad, looking very young there. But yeah, guys, that, like I said, this is the team that I would go with. You guys let me know yours in the comments below. I'm going to leave the stream here. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you guys enjoy the game later. If you want my instant match reaction, please go over to my TikTok page. My main account, I'll be doing my match review over there on Ben Talks Football. Search for Ben Bowman. And then on my second account, Ben Bowman THFC, that's where I'll be doing my player ratings over there. And go and catch up with kind of all the Spurs content on there as well. And then tomorrow on the YouTube channel, as always, there will be a breakdown of the Spurs versus Ferencváros performance and what we learned from that. And hopefully we are talking about a win. So I hope you guys have a good one. Have a good rest of your Thursday, and up the Spurs for later. The Europa League is back. Just quickly, actually. Thoughts on the new Twitter profile picture? It's game day, baby. Whoa. Have a good one, boys. Up the Spurs.